Have you ever met the silent thief that steals your future, one moment at a time? It doesn't carry a weapon or wear a mask. It whispers sweet promises of later and tomorrow, lulling you into a false sense of security while it drains the very essence of your potential. I know this thief well, for it was once my closest companion. My name is Leo, and for the longest time, my life was a collection of half-finished projects and forgotten dreams. My desk was a graveyard of started novels, my closet a museum of unused gym equipment, and my mind a library of skills I was always going to learn. I lived in a comfortable haze of procrastination, believing that the perfect moment to start was always just around the corner, just after this one last episode, this one last scroll, this one last nap. But tomorrow was a horizon that receded as I approached it, a promise that was never kept. My ambition felt like a distant star, beautiful to look at, but impossibly far away. I was adrift in an ocean of wasted hours, and a deep, gnawing sense of failure began to take root. One bleak afternoon, unable to bear the weight of my own inertia any longer, I found myself walking aimlessly through the old part of town. I wandered into a dusty, forgotten clock shop owned by a wise old man named Mr. Silas. The air inside hummed with the gentle ticking of 100 different clocks, each one marking the relentless march of time. Mr. Silas, with eyes as clear as crystal and hands that had crafted timepieces for decades, looked at me not with judgment, but with a knowing sadness. I confessed my struggles, my voice barely a whisper against the chorus of ticks and tacks. I told him I felt lost, left behind by a world that seemed to be moving too fast. He listened patiently, then beckoned me to a stool. "You are not lost because the world moves too fast, Leo," he said softly. "You are lost because you do not respect the river upon which you travel. You let its current carry you aimlessly, instead of rowing towards your destination. Let me tell you a story." He spoke of a great king, Alaric, who had a childhood friend named Finn. Though Alaric ascended to the throne, Finn remained a poor but honest man. One day, wanting to help his old friend, the king brought Finn to the royal treasury. "My friend," the king declared, "for the next 3 hours, until the sun sets, you may take anything and everything you can carry from this room. It will all be yours." Finn's eyes widened at the sight of mountains of gold, shimmering jewels, and priceless artifacts. His heart pounded with excitement. But then, a familiar thought crept in. 3 hours is a long time, he mused. I skipped my lunch in my haste to get here. I will eat first, to have the strength to carry more gold. So, he enjoyed a lavish meal provided by the palace cooks. After eating, he felt drowsy. A short nap will restore my energy, he reasoned. I will be twice as efficient afterward. He found a comfortable couch and quickly fell asleep. When he awoke, the sun was low in the sky. He stretched, feeling rested, but then decided to sit for a moment to admire the treasure and plan his strategy. He lost himself in daydreams of his future wealth. Suddenly, a loud gong echoed through the hall. The 3 hours were up. The heavy doors of the treasury began to close. Finn scrambled, grabbing only a single, small pouch of coins before the doors sealed shut. He was left with almost nothing. He lamented his terrible luck, cursing the fates for his misfortune. Mr. Silas looked at me, his gaze piercing. Was it bad luck that left Finn poor, Leo? Or was it his own choices? He had the opportunity of a lifetime, but he traded it for a meal, a nap, and a daydream. He didn't value the time he was given. The story struck me like a bolt of lightning. I was Finn. My dreams were the king's treasure, and I was squandering my time, my 3 hours, on trivial comforts and the empty promise of later. The ticking of the clocks around me no longer sounded gentle. It sounded urgent, a countdown to my own sealed doors. That day, I walked out of Mr. Silas's shop a different person. I didn't try to change everything at once. I started small. Instead of saying, "I'll write my novel tomorrow," I said, "I'll write 1 page today." Instead of "I'll start going to the gym next week," I put on my running shoes and went for a 10-minute jog. Each small action was a victory against the thief of tomorrow. It was difficult, a constant battle against years of ingrained habit. But every tick of the clock was now a motivator, not a lullaby. Slowly but surely, the pages turned into chapters, the 10-minute jogs turned into miles, and the skills I wanted to learn became part of who I was. Time, the force I had once resented, became my greatest ally. It was no longer an infinite resource to be wasted, but a finite, precious asset, more valuable than all the gold in King Alaric's treasury. It was the currency of life, and I finally learned how to invest it wisely. I learned that success isn't born from a single grand gesture, but from the sum of 1,000 small, disciplined moments. By seizing today, I finally built the tomorrow I had always dreamed of.